going to be starting our program today with a song by the BCW trio made up of Ed Bartholomew, Paul Cappers, and Steve Wayman.
This song is called "The Church." It was written for this church. It's a beautififul song. Kevin McIsaac, good friend and songwriter, wrote it back in 1977. There is a church, a beautiful church, that has stood for so long on the green. Then we all passed the hat, and now all things are new, an old-fashioned American dream. My family's come here for many a year to find comfort and peace for the soul. We celebrated the lives of those gone before in this church that we've all come to know. And the choir will sing out with all that they have, and the preacher will give us God's word. Through the seasons of joy and heartbreak too, this lovely old church has endured.
Oh, the world with its change just troubles the soul, and peace, such a fragile thing. Still we gather in hope, we gather to pray, and we gather together to sing.
Let the church bells ring gladly, let them send out their song, for many is the century more. Let the church be the rock on which we all stand, secure on this beautiful shore. Let our church bells ring gladly, let them send out their song, for many is a century more. Let the church be the rock on which we all stand, secure on this beautiful shore. Secure on this beautiful shore. Thank you.
Thank you to the BCW trio. Good afternoon. My name is Pete Allen. I'm the senior pastor of the Hingham Congregational Church, United Church of Christ. And I welcome each of you to what is for our congregation an exciting and important event. Thank you to my colleagues, many of you who are here today. Thank you to our neighbors, our friends, and to town and statewide leaders for being here today. The members of the Hingham Congregational Church and I are grateful for your presence and support today and throughout the whole process of renovation. We are especially honored to be joined today by, I think I just saw Senator Patrick O'Connor, Representative Joan Moschino, Mary Power, who is the chair of Hingham Selectmen, and Paul Healy, who is a Hingham Selectman. This will be a three-part event today. First, there'll be a few little speeches out here and the ribbon cutting itself. Then we'll all move into the sanctuary for a very brief service and a statement of rededication. And then we'll go downstairs to our newly renovated fellowship hall, where we will rename that hall together and have some refreshments. And then there'll be tours available as well. So, I now want to ask our church's moderator, Todd Anderson, to come forward and make a few remarks.
Good afternoon. I want to thank you all for being here. My name is Todd Anderson. I'm the current moderator of Hingham Congregational Church. I'm the lay leader of this congregation. As the chief representative of the congregation, I would like to take this opportunity to thank our community. Much as it takes a village to raise a child, it has truly taken a community to help us to undertake this major renovation. I would like to begin with our partners who shared their facilities with us while we needed space to carry out our missions. It began About a year ago, in June, I think it was, in the summer, we needed a place to worship. And we turned to Old Ship Church and the South Shore Conservatory of Music as our first places of worship. After that, from about July to November, or actually late October, we had the opportunity to use Hingham High School, which was an interesting place to have worship, but not so bad. And then when it came back to using our own sanctuary, we only needed classroom space. And thanks to the folks, our neighbors down at the GAR Hall, we had classroom space. And then in terms of our whole ministry, mission, and all that, Vacation Bible School, our partners at House of Prayer, stepped forward and we were able to use that facility for Vacation Bible School. So thanks to all those partners. I also want to thank Hingham Fire Department and the fire company personnel who served as fire wardens each Sunday. For me, it was became part of the process to walk through these doors and see to my immediate right, usually, there was a fire department person making sure that we were going to stay safe. So thanks to them. We also want to thank the Community Preservation Committee who gave us a grant for this handicap ramp. And finally, to the neighbors, all of our abutters, for putting up with construction vehicles, noise, and nuisance for a year. While I'm here as the congregation's spokesperson, I'd also like to take this opportunity to offer a huge thank you to the staff and lay leadership of Hingham Congregational Church, who managed an almost seamless process to keep our church life together for the past year or so. In particular, I would like to thank, first of all, Reverend Dr. Peter Allen, who helped us dream the dream of a new church and served as a loving shepherd for his flock throughout a difficult year to bring us to where we are today. I want to thank Debbie Edmondson, my immediate predecessor as moderator, who was an instrumental contributor to the process. I also want to thank Sarah Holland, our Minister of Christian Education, who kept church school moving forward, whether in a high school classroom or at the GAR Hall. I also want to thank Kate Shanis, our church office administrator, who willingly took on extra work, and was an invaluable resource. And perhaps most importantly, I want to thank and introduce our next speaker, Cathy Blair, who committed herself wholeheartedly to managing this huge project. When you go inside, I think you'll all agree that her leadership was a huge gift to this church now and for many years to come. Thank you all very much.
Welcome all. My name is Cathy Blair, and I am the chairperson of the Building and Grounds team that shepherded the process that restored this great building. We are honored that you are all here to celebrate with us this spectacular event, marking the culmination of many years of visioning, planning, designing, fundraising, getting approvals, and then implementing. This building was erected in 1847. It is a historic Hingham landmark. I have friends who are not members of this church tell me that when they're driving down Main Street and reach the intersection here at Pleasant Street with HCC looming in front of them, they know they're home. We were once known as the church with a heart in the heart of Hingham, and for very good reason. But we at HCC know that it's not the building that makes a church, it's the people and the work being done by the people. So we understand that investing in a facility might not seem like something a church should be spending money on, but we faced a dilemma. Our building and grounds were in need of major repairs. So what does it say about the people of the church if the beautiful historic structure that we have been stewards of is not being cared for or well nurtured. We thought we were doing a good job by occasionally giving her a paint job, or fixing a broken pipe, or replacing an old hot water heater, or making improvements here and there. And we're a church on a very tight budget, so that had to do. But 5 years ago, during a discernment process, and then 3 years ago, during a long-range planning process, we asked ourselves who we are and what do we envision ourselves to be as United Church of Christ members in Hingham. How do we see our work in the future? How do we continue our ministry in a fast-changing world? Many answers surfaced. Many of those answers had to do with our missions, ministries, service initiatives, learning programs, and work as a church. But those of us conducting the study couldn't help noticing that most of the answers had to do with our tired and old building, and the fact that it was hindering our ability to carry out some of these programs. Our facility was not reflective of our missions and ministries. If we wanted to continue to be a vibrant and modern, welcoming community, we had to step up the property as well. How does a small congregation raise the money required to properly restore a historic landmark? It seemed so out of reach. Well, if it had to be done, and we as a community of faith decided it had to be done, we decided we need to simply believe we could do it. And so we launched a capital campaign called the Believe campaign, and then we actually raised $3 million. Faith and the people of HCC did that. We also realized that if we were having a hard time funding capital improvements to our building, probably many other nonprofit organizations are in the same situation. So we set up a grant program dedicating a portion of our fundraising efforts toward capital improvements for local organizations that need help. We didn't want to just help ourselves. This has been greatly appreciated by the grant recipients so far, and we intend to continue this program. Once we were somewhat comfortable that we could pay for this vision, we hired an architect, then a builder, and the building process began in June of 2016. And now, we have a building that is reflective of who we are. A building that is warm, a building that is as warm and welcoming as the people. To ensure that our mobility challenged friends knew that they were welcomed here, we added the beautiful ramp to the front of the building, thanks to partial funding by the Hingham Community Preservation Committee. We also replaced the outdated and rarely working old elevator with a brand new one. In addition, we updated all our safety systems and our infrastructure systems, fire, plumbing, heat, and electrical. And for our families, we added a small play space for young children in the side yard. We also included all gender bathrooms equipped with changing tables and handicapped accessibility so that all know themselves welcomed. We have freshened up the kitchen, and now that will pass health inspections. We have safe and more energy efficient windows, and we have a wonderful new fellowship hall thanks to a donation by the Hale family who are right over here. We have safe, clean, and freshened up classrooms and meeting rooms, and these are just a few of the improvements made during this massive restoration. Many in the community helped us to make this a reality, either with their money, or their prayers, or their support, or time, or just patience. And we hope that now that our building restoration is complete, that we can return your generosity by sharing our new facility with you when you're in need. We have a fabulous past here at Hingham Congregational Church, and now we have a bright and vibrant future. This beautifully updated building will enable us to continue to be the church with a heart in the heart of Hingham. Thank you.
Before we move on to hearing from our dignitaries, I do want to give a shout out to a few more of our brothers and sisters around town who helped us out. Congregation Sharei Shalom, New North Church, and First Baptist Church also all opened up their doors to us when we needed a place to hold a funeral, conduct a wedding, and hold a fundraiser. So thank you to you guys. It's my honor to be the one to introduce our dignitaries today. Looks like first in line is Representative Joan Mosquino.
Thank you so much, Reverend. I am absolutely honored and humbled to be here with you today on this very joyous occasion. The congregation truly is such a warm and welcoming congregation and just a hallmark of the Hingham community. And as a part of your larger community, I have to say that this also has been a building that, as we come down 228, where I'm almost home, has always been a place for me that I have recognized, and I'm just delighted to be here tonight to help you celebrate, and to just pleased to see that this is part of your larger mission and your ministries. And you have always been so, as I said, welcoming and warm. And I wish you every congratulations and every success in your future ministries. Towards that end, the Senator and I thought it was appropriate to mark such an auspicious occasion because these kinds of building projects really do require so much of everyone in collaboration. And I'm delighted that we also were able to support CPA, and that CPA funding was able to assist you in your ministries. So we got a citation to mark the occasion from the House of Representatives. Be it hereby known to all that the House offers its sincerest congratulations to the Hingham Congregational Church in recognition of your improvements to your building, to restoration of this lovely historic landmark, and to foster a deep sense of welcoming in the larger community. It's signed this day, the 14th of September. It is signed by the Speaker of the House, Bob DeLeo, and myself, your state representative, and I am delighted to present this to your pastor. Thank you so much for including me, and congratulations.
Next, I'd like to invite to the podium Mary Power, who's the chair of the Hingham Selectmen.
What a wonderful gathering, and I'm so glad that you scheduled this at 5 o'clock on Thursday so that all the cars that are driving by are wondering what goes on here, and I hope that it will compel them to come and see the beautiful building, and more importantly, witness the generosity of the community. I live down at the other end of town, so for me, driving by this church is always kind of an indication that I'm heading into the center of Hingham. And as impressive as the building is, and the new renovations, which are just so absolutely beautiful, the sense of generosity and stewardship of the parish community is what stands out to me. In particular, understanding that it's very, very difficult these days to raise the kinds of funds to do the sort of project you want. And during that process, the congregation had the foresight to say, who else can we help out? Those are the types of things that just make us all so proud to be in this wonderful community. So on behalf of the Board of Selectmen, offer congratulations. We thank you so much for the invitation to be here today to help share in this great celebration.
I would like to welcome to the podium Paul Healy, who is one of our selectmen here in Hingham. Welcome.
I've enjoyed seeing this church for over a half a century. I grew up here, and although I've only been in your great church once for a funeral, I nonetheless praise and compliment you for your spiritual strength in preserving this great structure. I'm also looking forward to seeing the clock repaired and restored to complement what you have done here. So thank you, well done. Keep up the good work.
And now Senator Patrick O'Connor, welcome.
Just about a year ago, we were here at the shovel, putting the shovels under the ground, and to see the project progress since that time has been pretty remarkable. Just going by here, whether it be at a Boy Scouts event, getting an Eagle Scout award at the GAR Hall, just taking a look at everything coming into play, and it really goes to show the large amount of work that went into this project on so many levels, whether it be the Edmondses on behalf of the capital campaign, Cathy on behalf of making sure that everything was correct and going into order, and it really was something special. And to hear for the first time, I didn't know that in addition to raising the funds in the capital campaign, to give some of those funds back to other organizations is pretty remarkable, and I think that it is a testament to who you are as individuals, who you are in your faith, and who you are as people. And I think that in addition to that, and I always say this, that gatherings like this, and we had one the other day, is what makes a town a community. And I think that projects like this and putting them all together is really what makes churches more than just a building and a place of faith and a home. And so on behalf of the Massachusetts State Senate, we had read into the record an official citation to the Hingham Congregational Church in recognition of the completion of the renewal project and the beautification of the historic Hingham Congregational Church. And the Massachusetts Senate wishes you nothing but the best for the church and all the parishioners for continued success. Signed by the Senate President Stanley C. Rosenberg, myself, Senator Patrick O'Connor. Congratulations, everybody, and God bless.
Thank you once again to our dignitaries for making the time out of your busy schedules to be here with us and celebrate with us. Your support means a lot. I need to mention two more groups. One, I'm going to get the name right, the Acela Construction Management Corporation. That's their formal name. And a special thank you to Acela for helping us to realize our vision. And to also a similar thank you to Raymond Design Associates. Without those two organizations, we could never have been able to complete this project the way we have. I think you'll have seen on the outside already, and on the inside, it's so beautiful and so perfect for what we needed for our church mission. So thank you to those two organizations. I was gonna say maybe Cathy should just run up the steps and run through the tape like she's winning a race. But I think there's a more traditional way of doing this, so we'll do that.
If anybody from the Building and Grounds team wants to come up and just hold the ribbon with us, please come on up.
All right, here we go. All right, so I'd like to invite everyone into the church now.
Say something. Congratulations.